Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is A Zinger. And that is because you may be undergoing a zinger coming up rather soon. And that is because, if you're wondering what a zinger is like a mosquito bite, or it's like a bee sting. It's something that can come about quickly. It can bother you or irritate you, but it doesn't last. And just remember that it doesn't last, no matter how irritating it can be at the time. And that is because you may experience a zinger even as early as this next week, because it could be in the financial area, or it could be something that involves your future plans. There could be, a little sudden upset somewhere. And that's because there are 4 strong planets in the fixed signs that are squaring each other. And that is because now Mars and Saturn, both malefic planets, are in the fixed air sign of Aquarius, which rules the future, and they are harshly squaring Uranus, the other malefic planet, and they're squaring it very closely, and also Venus, which is in Taurus, and Taurus is a fixed financial sign. That's why if there's going to be a zinger in your life, it could be about your future plans, or it could be about your finances, which isn't too good. So you would want to be extremely cautious this week regarding your future plans and regarding your financial assets as well, because you have no idea what kinds of malicious forces can be around. Remember, 3 of those 4 planets are malefic planets that can cause problems. And particularly, there can be other problems involved because these planets are in fixed signs. So that Mars and Saturn in Aquarius, which rules the future, is opposing Leo, the sign of Leo. And Leo rules the heart and the back and the blood supply. And so there can be really sudden bad problems concerning those things. So, if your blood pressure is a little high, you might be susceptible to a zinger. So how about trying to work on that a little bit and avoid any kinds of problems like that? And then these 4 planets are also squaring and opposing the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is the other fixed financial sign, and it rules taxes and credit and debt and loans and insurance and inheritance and grants or money coming in from any other source. Those 2 could be vulnerable because Mars and Saturn in Aquarius are squaring them, and Venus and Uranus in Taurus are opposing the sign of Scorpio. So this is a time when you just really need to be careful, because a zinger could happen at any time to anyone, and that would not be a good thing. And also, because the sun and the moon are in harsh aspect, you could be undergoing some sort of confusion or indecision, and that is because the sun is in Aries and it is squaring the moon in Cancer. But the moon rules Cancer. It's very strong there, and so it is actually stronger than the sun in Aries. And when the sun and moon square or oppose each other, it is a sign of indecision or confusion. So there is the possibility that you may overreact to something, or it could be that you fall victim to some sort of malicious scam right now. So you need to be really careful and watch what you're doing, and try very hard not to believe everything that people are telling you without verifying the facts first. Because there is good news around too. And the good news is that that same moon in Cancer, which is so strong, is beautifully trining Mercury and Neptune in Pisces. Well, the moon rules Cancer and Neptune rules Pisces, and these 3 planets are also trining the sign of Scorpio. And so that simply means that there can be a lot of people behind the scenes that are very sympathetic right now. And if you do experience some sort of zinger, which is like a bee sting or a mosquito bite, or it's something that can irritate you, just remember it won't last. but you can also call on very sympathetic people who can give you moral support or good advice, or perhaps even help you a little bit financially with a loan or something behind the scenes until you are able to stabilize your finances, or until you really do get your future plans off the ground. So I would just say you need to employ an extreme amount of caution right now, but if you do that, or if you do get stung by a zinger, you can rely on others to step up and help you. It's almost like one neighbor helping another, or old school friends sticking together, or people just sympathizing with each other and helping in small ways that can mean so much. So I hope that either you're the one that's doing the helping, or if you're the one that needs it, you will be able to find what you need. It looks like you could. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, remember I said that the sun is in your sign. Well, that certainly accentuates new beginnings, doesn't it? But it is now being squared by a powerful moon in Cancer. And so that can lead to indecision and confusion. So while you could be very clear in your own mind about what you want to do regarding a new beginning or what you want, there can still be other people, including family members. Remember, Cancer rules the family and the home, and it rules real estate. So there could be a real estate matter, or there could be family members who are not quite on the same page as you are right now, Aries. And so you may have to slow down a little bit, because there can be some people who aren't clearly in your camp right now. Maybe they don't know enough yet, or maybe they are just a little bit unsure. Maybe you just need to be patient with them a little longer, or else maybe you need to come up with more facts and be very thorough about something. Get something in writing. Maybe that will help them understand what you want. Because, you know, you have the energy to make a new beginning work, but there are other factors that can be a little bit confusing right now that may cause a delay or even some kind of a zinger in your life. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I think that you are coming to some sort of conclusion, and it may be about a long-term plan, financial plan that you have had. And that is because it could be in a situation where it's about to mature or pay off. And that is because Venus, your own ruler, is now at the 29th degree of fate in your sign. It's going to leave by Saturday. It will go into Gemini for quite a long time. And so for right now, I think that you need to look real closely at where the money really is and what you want to do with it. And that is because Uranus is in your sign. It's a planet of volatility and sudden surprising change. And Saturn and Mars in Aquarius are squaring the two planets in your sun sign. So you need to be very, very careful and concentrate only on long-term plans, which hopefully you have written down somewhere, because the earth signs are strong right now. Venus and Uranus in your sign are trining three planets in Capricorn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars, or Jupiter and Pluto, two planets in Capricorn. And so that simply means that in the long run, you should be quite pleased with some plan that can be paying off right now. But if you get stuck or hit with a zinger, it might be due to a financial problem like extra taxes, or a sort of a free fall in the value of some of your investments. So you ought to pay attention to those right now, Taurus. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, oh boy, you're going to have a great summer, Gemini. And the reason why is that by Saturday, Venus is going to come into your sign. It will leave Taurus, and it will come into your sign, where it will stay for an abnormally long time. It will stay from Saturday until August 20th. And the whole time that it is there, it can certainly enhance your popularity, Gemini, and make things a little bit easier for you in many different ways. You could make easy transitional changes. So could a lot of other people right now. Or neighbors could get a little friendlier, or people could just extend helping hands to others and form rather nice bonds of friendship that way. So all of those things can be accentuated right now. You can also be very good at buying and selling. And because anything that your sign rules will be enhanced by having Venus in it for so long. So congratulations on that. And if you get stuck with a little zinger right now, just remember it won't last, but it could be due to the fact that Mercury, your own ruler, and Neptune are in Pisces, squaring your sun sign. So it is possible that somebody is telling you what you want to hear, but they're not telling you the whole story, which means that they're hiding something. And you'd best find out what it is before you believe them completely, Gemini. So you need to do a little investigative work behind the scenes, and this would not be a good time to sign anything until you're very sure of who else you're doing business with and whether they are reputable or not. You need to check that out. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, the moon is in your sign today. Oh boy, congratulations. It's the ruler of your sign, and it's being beautifully backed up because Mercury and Neptune in Pisces are trining that moon in your sign. So it could mean that you have a lot of friendly support behind the scenes. So if you get hit with a zinger or some sudden upset regarding your finances or a future plan, you're going to be able to draw on very nice resources behind the scenes that can help you out, either with lending you a hand or perhaps even with lending you some money. And if there is a real estate transaction or a family matter that involves a family relationship that has been sort of undecided, I think that that too could work out to everyone's satisfaction right now. So if I were you, I would really get in there and pay more attention to your personal matters, Cancer, because they're rather well aspected right now. And there are not as many planets in Capricorn opposing your sun as there have been. And so now only Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn are opposing your sun sign, and the sun in Aries is still squaring your sun sign. So you can be undecided or confused about some things, but I think if you go behind the scenes and start asking questions, you'll get all your answers. And that way you can solve some sort of problem, and that would take the sting out of something. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time with that sun still in Aries trining your sun, when you really are tenaciously hanging on to some idea that involves a new beginning. You're not going to let that one go, are you, Leo? Well, that's okay. It's just that the one thing that you shouldn't let go of right now is your money, and that is because you're going to need extra money coming up, Leo. One of the reasons that you could get hit with a zinger could be health related, and that is because Mars and Saturn in Aquarius are opposing your sun sign, and Mars will move on fairly quickly, but Saturn's going to be in Aquarius until June. And the whole time that these planets are opposing your sun sign, which they're doing now, it could be bad for people with high blood pressure, or they could increase back injuries, or they could increase diseases that are related to the blood supply in one way or another. So you need to especially watch your health right now, Leo. And that means if you do have a little zinger of a problem, let's just say high blood pressure, you need to, get that taken care of right away. And don't wait, Leo. So this is a time when you really need to concentrate on matters that could turn out to be very expensive if you let them go. So don't do that. And also, it's always good to get a checkup. That way, if it comes out fine, you can feel really good about yourself. And also, there's money around that you need to check on just to make sure that your access to it is clearly only your access and not someone else's, and that it's being taken care of in a way that you approve of. So you really do need to check your financial resources right now, because if there's any zinger involved in that would delay your future plans. So that's why you need to be careful. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when the big things are what you will be successful at. In other words, practical things that are related to your career are going to be real good for you all year long, Virgo, because Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun now, and they'll continue to do that. Jupiter will leave in December, but they're going to continue to do that. And even Saturn's going to come back into Capricorn and trine your sun by June. So that's fine. And Uranus and Venus and Taurus are trining your sun right now. So it looks as if financial matters can be coming to some sort of conclusion that is very satisfactory to you, Virgo. I think you're going to be pretty happy with the bottom line right now, your bottom line, or with your long-term plans in one way or another. Perhaps your investments are paying off, or else perhaps you are able to sort of buy and sell assets and sort of move them around a little bit in a satisfactory manner, so that would be good. The one thing that you really have to watch out for, and it's hard to spot, is that Mercury, your own ruler, and Neptune in Pisces are opposing your sun sign. And that means there are people around that are not telling you the whole story about something, and they may even be hiding something from you. And that could create a zinger sooner or later. And so, you know, you need to slow down a little bit, Virgo, and check what people tell you. You know, follow up, find out a little bit more before you really believe all the wonderful news that you're hearing right now. Just be extra cautious if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, you know, Mars and Saturn in Aquarius are trining your sun right now. And that means that even if you do feel pressure from people regarding your future plans, or maybe their future plans, even with an awful lot of pressure, you're going to do just fine. And it can be that you decide to work a little harder on getting your future plans down to earth and working in a way that is practical for you. And you can do that, Libra. You're coming into a time when you may be very busy, particularly in April and May, when these Mars and Saturn are trining your sun. But on the same level, it can do you a lot of good. So this, it could be a time when, if you are thinking of self-improvement, in other words, you know, improving your health in particular, this is a really good time to do that, because you may be able to find the experts that could cut a lot of time off of your rejuvenation program by giving you good advice and then making sure you follow it. So you could do that, Libra, and that would work out really well for you. The reason why you really need to get yourself in shape right now is because on Saturday, Venus is coming into Gemini, and it will be trining your sun. Venus is your own ruler. It will be trining your sun until August 20th. You might have a very romantic spring and summer right now if you do decide to sort of get yourself in shape, because it could be a lot of fun for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, if anybody's going to get hit with a zinger, oh, it might be you, Scorpio. And the reason why is because yours is a fixed sign, and all of the fixed signs are extremely vulnerable financially and in their future plans right now. And that is because Mars and Saturn in Aquarius, the sign of the future, are squaring your sun sign, and Uranus, which is the third malefic planet, and Venus as well in Taurus are opposing your sun sign. So it looks to me as if there is going to be a problem, either with your financial assets, or it can be someone else's money. It can be someone else's money that you perhaps might have thought was coming your way, but there could be extra taxes on it, or there could be a decrease in the value of something. It may be an investment of yours. Or it can simply be that somebody else has that money earmarked for their own use in the future, not yours. And so you really need to check everything out, because it looks to me like you may get hit with a zinger now, which would be a sudden upset, particularly related to your finances. So be very careful right now, Scorpio. Don't spend money. And on top of that, you better find out where yours is and make sure that it's safe. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when I think you can be getting serious about moving forward slowly but surely on a goal of yours. After all, Jupiter and Pluto are the only two planets left in Capricorn, and they are great planets. They're not malefic planets, they're good ones. So you may see an opening of some sort. You might, if you're wanting to increase your education, you may get accepted by a prestigious college or university. Wouldn't that be great? It would require hard work, but it would also be quite an honor once you completed all their course load. So that would be nice. Or it could be that you want to increase the value of your work and your talent by joining a larger corporation or an influential government agency, and you could do that too. And that's because Jupiter is right ahead of your sun sign in Capricorn until December. And you should take advantage of sort of raising your sights a little bit right now, Sagittarius, and trying to better yourself in very solid ways that will stick with you for a long time. And no matter how much work it takes, you ought to go forward with that, because I think you can. You can sort of climb a little higher right now if you want to. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when some of the pressure could sort of be off you. And the reason why is because there have been 4 planets in your sun sign for a long time, and 2 of them have moved on. That's good, because now Mars and Saturn have moved up to Aquarius, and now all you have are Jupiter and Pluto, 2 very good planets, and particularly powerful ones that are in your sun sign right now. And so since they are trining Uranus and Venus in Taurus, there can be some good financial news coming your way, Capricorn. And even if it involves a small increment, it would tend to indicate further increases coming to you in one way or another. So that could be important for you. This is also a time when I think that you yourself may be a little bit undecided or confused about something that is related to a new beginning. Maybe you don't understand quite how to get to where you want to go. And the reason why is that the sun in Aries is squaring your sun sign, and the moon in Cancer is squaring your sun sign today as well. And so you could be confused about a real estate matter, a home or family matter, or starting something new in one way or another. It may not even be your start. It might be somebody else's new start, and you could be a little bit confused about that. So I would just say go slow, Capricorn, and get all the facts in front of you or in writing first before you make up your mind about something. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when, oh boy, you can be super serious, Aquarius. There is the possibility, since yours is a fixed sign, and all the fixed signs are vulnerable right now, to getting a real zinger. And you may really get one, Aquarius, because both Mars, which is a malefic planet, and Saturn, another malefic planet, are in your sun sign, and they are being squared harshly by the 3rd malefic planet, Uranus in Taurus, and Venus in Taurus, which is at the 29th degree of fate. And so it simply means there's got to be a financial matter that could represent some sort of zinger or sun upset in your life right now, Aquarius. It may be that you discover that you didn't have quite as much money as you thought you did. Maybe the value of your investments have really fallen, or else possibly whoever's been handling them for you has been helping themselves a little bit, and that means there isn't as much left for you. So whatever it is, or it could just be that your costs or your bills are pretty high right now, and you may not really have enough to cover everything, and particularly not to cover a future plan of yours, which looks like it could be running into a little trouble right now. So you need to be very careful, and just remember, a zinger is like a bee sting or a mosquito bite. It's irritating and it hurts, but it doesn't last. Just hold that thought. You don't have to hold it for too much longer though, because Venus is going into Gemini on Saturday, and it will be trining your sun until August 20th. If you're in trouble, you need to go and straighten that out right now, Aquarius, and get good advice and follow it. But on the other hand, you're going to be very popular this summer. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, This is a time when your home life and your family life and even a possible move could work out very well for you. And it could also mean that the relationships among family members could readjust themselves in a very nice way that wasn't possible before for some reason. It might be because there wasn't enough information coming out in the open, but there could be now. And the reason why, Pisces, is that very strong moon in Cancer is trining an equally strong Neptune in your sign and Mercury in your sign as well. And together those three planets are trining the sign of Scorpio. So there is an indication that there is more money coming your way, Cancer. And in one way or another, it looks like you might even be interested in helping others, you know, lending a helping hand or a lot of moral support, or just helping to heal old wounds right now. And that is entirely possible. So you're sort of in the driver's seat right now, Cancer. If you want to mend a few fences, I think you're going to be successful. I mean, Pisces. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show and read our blog on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.